Hi and welcome to Yoga with Sacha. Today I wanted to share with you not only the bombshell news that I am pregnant, but that my lovely dog Gaia was pregnant and gave birth to just these three adorable little puppies. I'll bring them over to you just so you can see. Good view? So, in honour of this, we're going to do some prenatal Sun Salutations. They're suitable really for anybody, so if you're not pregnant, for sure you can join in. Oh baby. And if you are pregnant, then these are good for you. If you're a dog, maybe not so much for you, Gaia, but for all of us people, this should be a really nice practice we can do together anytime. So I will see you on the mat. Namaste. So you can begin by making your way up to the front of your mat. We're going to come to a wide stance, so the feet can be slightly wider than hip distance apart. The theory here is that if you're pregnant, you really want to make some room for your bump and also just give yourself a really solid foundation so that your balance is steady. You can place one hand over your belly, one hand over your heart, and take a moment to just recall within yourself. Take a few deep breaths, come fully into this present moment. Connecting to your heart, letting your mind settle and let go of anything that was going on just before you arrived at the mat. And if you're carrying a baby, then just sending love to that baby. And if you're not pregnant, then just picking another intention, something you want to put some of your energy towards. We can inhale, opening our eyes, bringing our arms up by our ears to Urdhva Hastasana. I love here to really play with that dichotomy of reaching up towards the sky and grounding through the feet, grounding through the shoulders. Really feeling that full reach and creating some space through the side body here. We can exhale, diving forward into Uttanasana, forward fold. You can keep the knees a little bit soft here. There's no need to come all the way down to the ground. For anyone who's pregnant practicing along with me, it's really important to note that in pregnancy we can become more flexible than usual. So we never want to overstretch. Stay well within the limits of your comfort zone. Go for the simpler variation, even if your body feels super flexible today. Just take it easy and stay a little bit further back than your limits. We can just play with the edge of our comfort zone here and let everything just hang out. Beautiful. Placing our hands on the outsides of our feet, we can walk our feet back, coming to a plank pose. You can hold this for a moment or bring your knees down to the mat, entirely up to you. Then we're all going to bring our knees down, bringing the knees wide, and walk ourselves back to a child's pose. Again, depending on how you feel, how pregnant you are, you might want to place a couple of blocks or a cushion in front of you. You can either rest your arms or your head on, depending on the size of your bump. The important thing is you never want to squash your belly when you're pregnant. So just making whichever variation of the pose to give yourself a little bit of room. You can move the block or cushion out of the way. We're going to bring our knees back in line with our hips, and we can come to a little bit of a kind of supported cobra. Again, we don't want to come into a really deep back bend, but just taking a second to ease out the lower back before bringing the hips back, tucking the toes under, and if we feel comfortable too, we can press up into a downward facing dog. We can stretch out our legs one at a time. You don't have to stay here very long. And if this feels too intense for you, you can bring your knees to the mat and just walk your arms forward, coming to a puppy pose. So you choose. You can do the down dog or the puppy, whichever variation you're in, making your way up to down dog just for a second, and then walking your feet forwards towards the front of the mat. We come all the way back to our wide leg forward fold, our Uttanasana. Just letting everything sway and hang. You can bend your knees, inhaling, coming up all the way, arms overhead, Urdhva. Taking a moment to really center yourself. In pregnancy, you can get a little bit more dizzy. So just taking a moment to make sure your balance is strong before we bring our palms together down to heart center. And that concludes one round of our prenatal sun salutations. So we're going to do the same again, a little bit faster. So inhaling, the arms come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, folding over at the hips. Letting everything hang, keeping the knees a little bit soft. We can inhale, coming up halfway flat back. We can exhale, dropping all the way down, bringing our hands either sides of our feet, bending our knees if we need to, and stepping backwards. We can either stay up in a plank, or we can bring our knees to the mat, letting them widen out. We all make our way down to a child's pose. We can stay up on our forearms. If it's comfortable for you, you can bring your head down to the ground, or you can use blocks or pillows to support yourself. Staying here for 2 more breaths. Inhaling, bringing the knees underneath the hips, walking the arms forwards a little bit, and we can bring our hips forward just momentarily for a little bit of a gentle back bend. Then bringing our hips back, tucking our toes under. We can press up into downward facing dog or puppy. Remember the variation I showed you last time. If this feels too intense, reaching through the spine, reaching through the arms, pressing back with your heels, taking one more full breath here. And as you exhale, walking your feet back towards the front of the mat, we find ourselves again in forward bend, forward fold. Inhaling, coming up halfway flat back. Exhaling, folding all the way over. Inhaling, bending the knees. Coming all the way up, arms overhead. Exhaling, bringing the hands to heart center. And one more time, just to integrate all of that. We start with our feet nice and wide. We inhale, reaching up to the sky. We exhale, diving forwards. We inhale, coming up halfway flat back. We exhale, coming into forward fold, finding a good distance for your feet to be apart. We inhale, rooting our hands, walking our feet back. We can exhale in a plank pose or bring our knees down to the mat if this is too strong. And then bringing our knees wide, we make our way into a child's pose, supporting ourselves on our forearms if we like, or using props. We inhale, coming back up onto knees, bringing knees under hips, walking hands forward, and just momentarily bringing the hips forward in a kind of supported cobra. Exhaling, tucking toes under, pressing up into downward facing dog or puppy pose if that variation feels better. We can walk our feet forwards, coming to meet the hands at the front of the mat, hanging out here for a good inhalation, a good exhalation. Inhaling up halfway, flat back. Exhaling down all the way. Inhaling, coming up slowly, feeling the feet upon the ground as we reach our arms overhead. Taking a moment to center ourselves and find our balance before bringing our hands together down through the center line of the body to the heart center. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. Once you're finished, you can go on to one of the other videos, or maybe sit down, take a moment in meditation, or lie down in Shavasana. So whichever variation we choose, we can just close our eyes for a second. Taking a few deep breaths. Honouring yourself, honouring your amazing body and its capacity to do all of these movements and carry you through your life. And thank you so much for joining me today. So if you're enjoying this video and the videos I'm making, feel free to check out yogawithsasha.com to get all the latest.